Hey everybody, Brian Shannon here. I want to take a look at shares of Dutch Brothers. BROS, of course, is the symbol. Let me just pull that down. This is a 65-minute time frame. Each candle shows 65 minutes worth of trading, and this is since they've come public. First, you'll see this blue line. That's the volume weighted average price since the IPO. What I'm going to do is draw in here a potential scenario that I'd like to see happen in Dutch Brothers. That is, the volume weighted average price from the IPO, I think, is likely to get tested. It might occur something along the lines of this. In the next day or two, we come down, test it. Maybe it breaks slightly through it. Touching it wouldn't be my reason to buy the stock, but if it did something like this, here's what we would be looking at basically. One, the 5 day moving average. So the 5 day moving average is really my most important swing trade indicator. I simply won't buy a stock with a declining 5 day moving average, and I won't short a stock with a advancing 5 day moving average. When it's below the declining 5 day moving average, the rallies typically fail. What we want to see is the 5 day moving average flatten out like we saw over here, and then prices get above it. When that happens, it tells me that we've exhausted the sellers on this pullback. The volume weighted average price anchored from the peak would come down and look like this and start to turn sideways. And the volume weighted average price from that last low right over here would look something along the lines of this. So what we'd be looking for is maybe some further weakness in the stock and then for the buyers to slowly emerge. I don't care if I don't hit the exact low right here. That's not my concern. What I would do though is if it started to rally and come up and test that 5 day moving average, I would then put a volume weighted average price off that low, and I would expect that maybe it comes down and tests that volume weighted average price, and then I would want to be a buyer somewhere along in here when it makes a higher high above the flat to rising 5 day moving average. My stop would then go whatever I consider to be the most recent relevant higher low. So if this is the ends up being the low, this would be the most recent relevant higher low. If I'm buying right here, I would set my stop underneath that level simply because this emerging uptrend here, we break resistance, we break the flat to rising 5 day moving average, we get above these volume weighted average prices, would start to see this pattern of higher highs and higher lows. If instead it broke higher and then failed and broke below this low, it would invalidate the definition of trend. So I wouldn't want to be involved any further. So I don't have a position in Dutch Brothers right now. I'm looking to get involved, but the key is to be patient. There's no reason to buy the dip. Buy strength after the dip.